parents, and prospective IB students. My name is Preston Hatfield, and I am here to tell you guys about theory of knowledge. So, it is a first period class. Currently in the remote learning schedule, it is 2 days a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and ordinarily it would be 4 days a week, Wednesday being the exception. It is a class that starts the second semester of junior year and finishes in the fall of senior year. There's a second version of TOK that is an avid blend that is taught by Miss Olamet, Miss Braithwaite, and Dr. Royalty, and that is a 2-year course that begins junior year and ends with graduation. I'm going to be telling you about my version of the course, which does not involve AVID. So, theory of knowledge, also known as TOK, it is an interdisciplinary class in which students reflect on the nature of knowledge and on how we know what we claim to know. So it's a pseudo-philosophy class, although kind of not early, but also not necessarily not philosophy. There's some intersection. It is a class that is based on inquiry and is structured around what are called knowledge questions, which I'll talk to you about in a few more slides. Through these discussions, students are going to be gaining greater awareness of their personal assumptions and biases, as well as develop an appreciation for the diversity and richness of cultural perspectives. On the right-hand side of the screen there, you can see a variety of what are called key TOK terminology or concepts. And these are going to be some of the focuses of our inquiry in this class. Things like, well, what counts as evidence? How certain can we be that we know anything? What does truth mean? How does power play into knowledge and values and justifications and all these other terms that you say there? We'll be looking at those terms in a variety of different real-life situations. So theory of knowledge is a core part of the diploma program. It is necessary if you are an IB diploma candidate, and if you are just a course candidate, it's effectively an elective. You don't need to take it, but I certainly think that it's a really fun and interesting class. So here are the stated aims of the course as written by IB. I'll give you just a second to read these. A recurring theme that you might notice here is this importance given to perspectives and culture, and just this idea of many ways of looking at things. Multiple truths exist in the world, and the class seeks to surface and look at many of them. So the semester is going to be broken down into, or rather the year is going to be broken into 2 semesters. The first semester looks at what are called themes, and the 3 units will be knowledge and the knower, knowledge and language, and knowledge and technology. The semester final will be what is called the Tok Exhibition, in which students will be answering a knowledge question through the use of objects that they have some sort of connection with. Think of it as a very academic show and tell. There are semester midterms and practice assignments. There will be monthly blogs that have them practicing what they'll have to do for their exhibition, and there will be Socratic seminars that allow them to explore different texts of their own interest and make connections to some of the things that we've talked about in class. Just real briefly from the TOK guide, this first unit on knowledge and the knower provides an opportunity for students to reflect on what shapes their perspectives as a knower, where their values come from, and how they make sense of and navigate the world around them. It does not focus exclusively on the individual knower. It also centers, or rather considers, aspects such as the impact of the different communities of knowers to which we belong. And the other 2 units look at the intersection of knowledge and language and knowledge and technology, respectively. In semester 2, we turn our attention to the individual disciplines that we study in school: the arts, human sciences, natural sciences, history, and mathematics. And the semester final for this second semester will be the theory of knowledge essay, which is a 1,600-word essay on a knowledge question provided by IB. And there will be a midterm that will basically be a practice essay. Some additional information about areas of knowledge. Discussions of the areas of knowledge should explore the different areas of knowledge to deepen students' understanding of what gives each area its character. A key focus will be on encouraging students to make comparisons and connections across the areas of knowledge. Comparing and contrasting the various areas of knowledge involve not only exploring features that they have in common, but also examining their differences. Comparison of different areas of knowledge is also an evaluative task, as opposed to being simply descriptive. So we're not just looking to identify the differences, but really to consider why are these differences important and why do they exist at all. In order to do this, both the themes and the areas of knowledge, we will be using the knowledge framework. There is scope and applications, which explores how each theme or area of knowledge fits within the totality of human knowledge, and also considers the natures of the problems that each theme or area of knowledge faces and tries to address. There is methodology and tools, which includes the consideration of the cognitive and material tools that we have available to help us in the pursuit of knowledge, and of how these tools have changed as a result of technological developments. There are perspectives, which includes reflection on the student's own perspective and what informs them, as well as how different people or groups view or approach knowledge in the different themes or areas of knowledge. It also includes reflection on historical perspectives and how knowledge changes over time. And lastly, there's ethics, which includes aspects such as the relationship between facts and values and how ethical epistemic values are built into the quest for knowledge. It also includes questions relating to knowledge and equality or inequality and injustice. Here are a few examples of what knowledge questions are. I've mentioned them a few times now. So do social networks reinforce our existing perspectives or diversify them? How might tech alter the divides in our access to knowledge? These are questions that are very open. They are difficult to give any definitive answer for. It goes back again to this idea of perspectives. Students will be expected to find multiple ways to answer these questions and not just say, this is the one single answer, but here are the multitude of possible answers, and here are the things that inform them or justify them. So their essays, their blogs, their Socratic seminars, their exhibitions, they will be addressing questions such as these. And a few facts. Theory of Knowledge is a G elective class, and again, a required course for the full IB diploma. There is a grade bump for TOK, so that's a nice perk. There can be a steep learning curve. It's not unusual for even career A students to struggle in this class, but it is highly rewarding. There's not going to be much in terms of nightly homework for the class, but class work will be graded and will need to be finished outside of class, if not finished in class. A note about colleges, particularly those on the East Coast, do know what TOK is and the skills it helps students to develop, but it is unfortunately still not recognized for college credit, especially here on the West Coast. If there are any other questions, please feel free to email me at phatfield@cuhsd.org. I believe that is the end of this presentation, so if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. I thank you for coming to IB night virtually and for showing an interest in TOK.